Biggest takeaways from Women Gods Gather in Atlanta. Biggest takeaways. There are four of them. There are more than four, but there are four that I'm going to be speaking about publicly. One of them that I already start to speak about publicly or in more detail was last week from Atlanta. I live streamed from Atlanta last week talking about PUSSY desire. PUSSY desire. Meaning true desire. Okay? Meaning true desire. Not mere want, but true desire. Okay? So if you want to see that, you can go back on my wall here on Facebook and TikTok. You can just find your way over to my Facebook page by going to facebook.com/Naima Singletary number one. Facebook.com/Naima Singletary number one. And I had on a black sweater when you go looking for it, and it's about true desire. True desire. So before I get into today's topic, which is one of the biggest takeaways from Women Gods Gather in Atlanta, the dates are passed. I'm back here in California, and I really want to get into uh, the biggest takeaways. And yeah, so before I get into the topic, which let me share the topic right now so you can decide if you want to stay here. And that is that we're so far removed from our body's wisdom. And so we just stay busy, we numb out, we eat, we attempt to eat nervousness and anxiety away, which is why we're harboring a lot of pain and fear all the time. So I repeat, that's the topic I'm getting ready to discuss. I repeat what the topic is. As women, we are so far removed. This is one of the four key takeaways from Women Gods Gather in Atlanta this past week. Okay? And what I'm going to discuss here today is we are so far removed from our body's wisdom. We are so far removed from our body's wisdom. And what we have replaced that connection with is staying busy. Oh, I'm so busy. Staying busy, numbing out in all the ways that we can numb out. Social media, food, shopping, gossiping, doing other things that don't actually fill us up. And then also, we are in pain and fear all the time. And so many of us are so used to pain that we actually don't know who we are without the pain. So many of us are so used to pain, our identities are linked to pain, that it makes it difficult for us to make decisions that would have us out of pain because our familiarity is with pain. That's the topic for today. Before I go on, I am activating a new, remember I had God Power Live? I was here live every weekday for some months. I am reactivating. It's not going to be called God Power Live. It's going to be called Spiritual Enrich. Spiritual Enrich. Spiritual Enrich. Spiritual Enrich. So I officially start Monday next week, but I'm going to be live today, tomorrow, and Thursday. What's today? Tuesday, yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to be live at 12 noon Pacific. Thursday I'm going to be live at 2 p.m. Pacific. That's my schedule for this week. And then starting next week, I'm undecided at what time. I'm oscillating between 10 a.m. and 12 noon Pacific. So that announcement will be shared by Thursday. But just know, this week I'm going to be live at now, 2 p.m. tomorrow and 12 p.m. No. 12 p.m. tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and then 2 p.m. on Thursday. So before I go on, Let me come over here and say hi. Who's here? Hi. Who's here? I want to talk a little bit about me so we can remove these walls that I know people who look at me create because I look good, I'm articulate, I'm smart, I'm powerful as fuck. And because deep down you don't feel very secure with yourself, you create a wall to keep us separate. So let me just tell you how much pain I feel. Okay, let's talk about the embarrassment that I've navigated to be able to sit, stand, talk, be before you and be before the world in a variety of sensations: softness, fierceness, all the things. Just because I look good and I'm articulate and I'm powerful as fuck, that doesn't mean we're separate. The reason why you show up here all the time, Jennifer, the reason why whoever else is here shows up here all the time is because you see yourself in me. But you're not going to be able to wield your power in the way you want to because you're not getting down into the embarrassing, shameful, humiliating parts of you. Now, I cannot show you that here online because it's a personal experience. Shadow gold helps you get down into the shame of you, the primal power of you. So I'm saying that to start to dissolve these walls. Y'all need to understand, I've been in the game for 12 years. And to be back in Atlanta this past week, this is like what, my third time in Atlanta? To have been doing this work for 12 years at various degrees, watching what's going on. And I just have a lot of context. I have a lot of data. And, you know, there's a saying, if I won't even go there. A lot of these sayings that we have that we go back to help us make sense of things, it's really somebody created it at a time to soothe themselves at that time. Like there's nothing new under the sun. Is there nothing new under the sun? How do you know that there's nothing new under the sun? And when I believe that there's nothing new under the sun, what does that then cause me to live my life like? Well, there's nothing new. So, or not all fruit of the same tree ripen at the same time. Okay, now we know that when we see trees that there is fruit that ripens at different times, but so that's not the best example, but you get my point. I say that so you can be mindful of what you run through your head to help you stay inside of a reality. What you run through your head, what story you tell yourself to help you stay in a reality you don't like. So let's segue into this topic of we are so far removed from our bodies. First of all, hold on. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Oh. Mm, mm, mm. Ooh. Ooh-wee. Gather myself. Hold on. I look so good. Damn, I look good. Sometimes I be wanting to fuck me. I be like, God damn, girl. God damn. It's like it's so rich. I look at myself, ooh, I'll be like, you so rich. Like, Jesus. Ugh. Today is one of those days. Mm. So today's topic is we are so far removed from our body's wisdom. Today's topic is we are so far removed from our body's wisdom. So we stay busy showing up to TikTok lives like this. We stay busy numbing out. We are walking around tense and tight all the time, walking around with lots of fear and pain. So I'm going to talk about this from relationally, meaning the relationship between men and women. Whew, the relationship between men and women. And a lot of women are concerned about what either the men in their lives, how they're going to react to them trusting their body's wisdom, or they're afraid of how men in general, whether it's their husband, their father, uh, just men at large, are going to respond to her moving from her body's wisdom and true desire. So let's start with that understanding. What does it look like when a woman follows her body's true desire? Well, first of all, you may be like Mashika, who she found herself just laying down more in her adult life as she was going through shadow gold ever. She just found herself, her body just wanting to lay down more. This is an accomplished woman that all of y'all would like and respect and think she's amazing, that she would just be naturally laying down all the time. Now, this is a woman who is a hard worker, okay? She has real estate portfolio. She's an investor. She has land. So this is a busy, active, accomplished woman, okay? And your body's wisdom could also be like, I want to fuck him now. Your body's wisdom could be like, I don't want to bathe today. Your body's wisdom could be like, these things that I've been feeling and thinking about myself or thinking about that person, I've been blind. I talked to a woman. Here's a really good example. So I have a video that went viral here on TikTok. It has over 800,000 views. And I got a lot of attention from that. I got a lot of DMs. I got a lot of emails. A lot of people registered for my masterclass. A lot of people showed up. And there's a lot of conversations happening offline that are just not happening online. Like online is a whole other show. Even with TikTok supposing to be the place where we learn and we get knowledge and it's truth and all of that, there's plenty about true feminine power that's not being talked about anywhere online. And many of those women are in my DMs, they're in my email because you can see, you can sense. And the pussy always knows. You could have been raped. You could be scared of A, B, C, and D. The pussy knows. And when you finally get blessed to lay your eyes on a pussified woman, your pussy knows. See? So that's why my shit been flooded. Flooded, bitch. And I need more y'all to be the same pussified way in your content on TikTok. That's how I need you to be. In all your live streams and your everything you're doing, where is your pussy voice at? Anybody here on my email list? I just sent out, I'm doing an impromptu training tomorrow called Pussified Voice. Did y'all get that email? It went out about an hour ago. Pussified Voice. Folks showing up to the masterclass saying they lost their voice in their marriage. They lost their voice after abuse. They lost their voice after A, B, and C. They've been wasting time. They've been going in circles. I've been hearing a lot of people saying, I've been doing personal development. And so many of y'all are doing things the masculine way, which is conceptually. I just got off the phone with a doctor about an hour and a half ago who says, the work that I have been doing, I've been doing it conceptually. That's where you think it, so you think you know it. You read it, you studied it, you compared it to the 5 other books you read about the subject. You looked at 22 different YouTube videos about it. You sat and you thought about it some more. You listened to this podcast and you worked it all conceptually because you are entirely disconnected from this wisdom. This wisdom will at first humiliate you, but bring you into your deepest desire. The novels we love to read about, the sensual siren vixens, the powerful women that wield power in the world. So you want that, but how many of you are willing to submit yourself to your body? You think just listening to me on a TikTok is gonna do it? I don't know, do you? There's a submission to your true pussy's desire, which, if you were present or you saw the live stream that I did with Iris last week, it's over here on Facebook. I have on a black sweater, and the title is called Awaken True Pussy Desire. That's what it's called. Awaken True Pussy Desire. I wanted she and I to use our relationship as an example of what it looks like when you really start to truly follow your body's desire, and you'll say no when you really mean yes. And Iris said to me, she didn't say this on camera, but she said it offline. She said, Naima, your desire, women are scared for their hunger to show. You're going to look like, how are you going to look? You're going to look like, when you let your true desire show, you're going to look crazy. She said, Naima, your true desire was off-putting at first, but I wanted it. Because when I came at Iris, I came true. See, so many of us are used to people coming at us with lies because you're lying all the time. You lie to keep yourself in your current reality, and then you wrap story around it to help cement you there. You wrap old sayings around it to cement you in a reality that you don't like. Well, maybe, well, because this, well, because that. So you tell yourself a bunch of stories to keep yourself inside of a reality you don't like. So you're used to lying to yourself. So when somebody else comes at you true, it's destabilizing. And you're like, no! Because then it's fucking with you and the fact that you're lying and you're not in desire. So she's like, Naima, when you first came at me, your desire was so piercing and was so true. And I was like, no, but I really meant yes. My body was saying yes. And see, when you are a woman who doesn't live from desire, that's exactly how you live. You say no all the time. And what you're saying no to is a full life. You're saying no to a life that turns you on. You're saying no to a life that would have you truly vibrant from the inside. Not trying to buy a damn serum to get glowing skin. Not trying to buy something to give you glowing skin. But you should glow because you glow from the inside because you're living from true desire. You see? And when you do this, men gonna have a problem with it because most men, their comfort zone is a woman that they feel like they can conquer. When you feel bigger than them, they don't like that. Yes or no? That's why they want you to be petite and docile and broke and feel like something they can come and have and prey on and teach and all of that. When you actually come into your full power, you become so big. The more true you become energetically large, and the average man, even the average powerful man, is very unfamiliar with the full woman. And this is what you're scared of looking like to the male eye, even to the female eye. You don't want your mama to see you like that. You don't want other women to see you like that. You don't want strangers on the internet to see you like that. And so what do you do instead? You go binge watch videos so you can just, because your nervous system can only take little hits like this live stream right here. A lot of that, this is all you can take, is with me right here. Your nervous system can't, because see, when you really expand, a live stream like this won't be enough anymore. Just like watching me like this, it won't be enough anymore. You're going to want to be touched. You're going to want to be the voice. You're going to want to say the things. You're going to want to be fucked right, touched right, stroked right, and you won't settle for less. Sort of like me and old girl was like, it's dick everywhere, and there's nobody to fuck. Oh, honey, I was at dining out by myself the other day with a book. Man came over, put his business card down on the table, want to talk. It's dick everywhere. And I can see. Makes me think of my nephew. My nephew told me when he was like 12, he's 16 now, he was like, your standards are too high. Your standards are too high. And what it is when you really start to expand. And now I want to talk a bit about the numbing. When you truly start to expand, a lot of shit just won't suffice anymore. And a lot of you are with husbands, you're with men, boyfriends, who you know that when you come into your full power, that marriage is not going to work anymore. And you're scared, you're deathly afraid of what your life is going to look like outside of that marriage, who you're going to be, what is it going to cost you energetically. Hi, Courtney. I see y'all here. I'm just like wanting to get certain things out. Like, who are you going to be? What's going to happen? And so, yeah, there is a decision to make and there's a price to pay. And every woman has to make the decision if she's going to live a regret-free life or she's going to live a true life. That's every woman. At some point, you're going to have to make that decision. If you're going to live a regret-free life or if you're going to live a true life. Because assuming you don't die within the next 20 years, just assuming you're still going to be here in 20 years because you're not going to be in a freak accident or nothing. Just assuming you're still going to be here, you're going to be 20 years later, and how are you going to feel about your life choices? Let me come over here and say hi. Correct. Lady T says internal freedom comes with a price. So the biggest takeaway, one of the biggest takeaways, is not the only one, and I won't even be talking publicly about all the takeaways that I got, but one of the biggest takeaways was how far removed we are from what I call our pussy voice. This also is why there's so much fire behind woman. For those of you who are ready to come into your full voice, you need to do there's so many options available. One, if you want to come into a training with me tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. on Zoom, interactive, coached by me, I'm hosting a training live called Pussy Voice. It's interactive tomorrow, Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. It's $500. You can DM me to register. We're going to be going into loosening your womb and pussy space to activate your voice. One of the things that so many women have said to me since that video went viral in particular, but even before then, but there was just such a high volume of women saying the same thing, I'm sharing that now. you have lost your voice, whether you lost it as a kid through sexual abuse or mother and father saying mean things to you. You had it and then lost it in a marriage. Something happened, rape, like something happened in your adult life that caused you to lose your voice. So now you're not creating the content you want to create. Now you're anxious all the time. Now you're overweight. Now you're scared of your power. Now you're not able to manifest and create. Now you feel stuck. There's so much more for you, but you just can't seem to access it and get it out. Okay? Okay? Tomorrow's pussy voice training, we're going to go deep fast. Okay? It's all pussy. It's all pussy. Opening your legs, getting deep. That is what I'm telling you, this was one of the biggest takeaways, even dealing with Iris. And this is a woman, Iris is fierce as fuck, and Iris is 63 years old. And I got so mad because we went out to brunch and we were sitting outside for a minute, and Iris, at 63 years old, this is why I tell y'all, this is where y'all gonna end up if y'all don't fucking come into your power. Iris went through a phase of decline because she wasn't connected. Nobody had the capacity to be with her in her real power. And the level of psychosis that you may or may not have heard me talk about. Because to get women out of their, it's so unnatural how we're living right now. To get women to the place that we're in right now, you had to fuck them up in the head. You had to disconnect them from their bodies. You had to give them images and different kinds of reactions for centuries to get us like this. I mean, give them lithium. They were giving housewives lithium once upon a time. Y'all know about the witch hunts, the social, like, y'all know women was, so many of us black women were working, but so many women weren't working, and how much we had to keep ourselves cleaved to a man out of survival. There wasn't no love, it wasn't no soulmate. It wasn't no because we're better together. It was about, if I'm not cleaved to some man, I'm going to be poor and broke, and shit is going to be hard for my kids, and blah, blah, blah. And then also the stigma, like even today, there's still stigma associated with divorce. That blows my, like, how could there be stigma around something that is man-made, and because you didn't make some man-made system work, and that there's so much shame around divorce. But when you know the root of divorce and how much it has been used to control and to play on the sentimentality of humans, you understand why so many people feel like it's a failure, right? Like, it's like, wait, I thought this was about evolution, and not everybody is evolving, and not everybody wants to evolve, and not everybody, I don't know, I'd be like, see, that's mass consciousness thinking. And so I was so mad, and I just was like, this is amazing that Iris can get to 63 years old. But see, this is what I mean by, and this is going to be multi-part right here. Y'all, some of y'all are looking for permission for somebody to, like, be the model for you. You're waiting for somebody to do it first. You're waiting for something outside of you to give you, like, this final, I can do it. Especially when you are a unique thing that's coming forward. So that you're not going to find anybody just like you. And the thing that you are to do is literally something that's going to radically change somebody's life. And when you don't own that, because a lot of you are really good at telling yourself stories. Thank you for all the hearts. I see we have over 3,000. Please share this live stream right now. Please share this live stream right now. If you are finding value, please share this right now so other women can have the value. You think the stories so many of you have gotten really good with telling yourselves. Like Brenda Bouchard says, you tolerate wrong for so long. That's a t-shirt. You tolerate wrong for so long. And that's why true desire that I talked about, it's the thing that's going to pull us through, because now the fear is so high on planet Earth. It's so crazy. It's so much noise and so many voices that you need something that's way beyond your will to help bring you into true desire, which is your true desire is the force that will pull you in the way that you really want to go. Because at this point, everybody is now just doing shit out of survival, out of fear. They're staying in relationships out of fear. They're making career-based decisions out of fear. They're moving out of fear. And at the end, when it's all said and done, the fear is not going to even matter at all. And then on top of that, while we're here, we want a big life. We want spirituality and riches, don't we? That's why we starting with spiritual and rich. We starting with spiritual and rich. And so, because I'm going to use this example for Iris and I, for you to understand how you can have the same impact on somebody else's life if you just give yourself over to your true work in the world. And your greatest work is going to just be you being true. It ain't work like, well, I got to work. The work is you becoming true. So how you show up in the world brings other people up. Whether you are going to be a healer who reaches the masses, a transformational coach, teacher, all that. That Iris can get to 63 years old. My mother is 63. That Iris can get to 63 years old and not one person had the capacity to be with her as she navigated the psychosis back to her true power. Because that's what all y'all gonna have to do. Haven't some of y'all been like feeling like you going crazy when you start telling the truth? You're like, am I losing my mind? When you start traversing the gauntlet back to the truth inside your own body, when you start listening to your body's wisdom, you start feeling like you're going crazy? Yes or no? And most women cannot traverse that by themselves. First of all, who's going to be with you on the other side? It's going to be you. But I'm talking about in your own mind when you're traversing it, there's a level of aloneness where you're like, am I crazy? I remember this woman messaged me on Instagram like 2 years ago. And this shit was so raw and this shit was so real. And I could feel her nervousness in the message. She was like, I have typed this message so many times and deleted it. How many of y'all have done that? She said, I have typed this message so many times and deleted it. See what I mean? The psychosis be having you, I don't know. And then if you married to a nigga who putting weak ass sperm in you, that'll fuck you up. You married somewhere, right? You riddled with fear. You fucking around with niggas who talk crazy because they scared they not gonna have access to you if you come into your full power. Because that's at the end of the day, that's what's up with a lot of the men. They don't. That's a whole other conversation. I'm not gonna go there right there. So I have a former client. She called her. Her husband. She said he worships the ground I walk on, and he has a lazy energy to himself. This woman is powerful as fuck. She walks in the room and you are like, the Don Dada has walked in. But she got this sperm coming up into her. And here's the thing, I want to say this part right here. Maybe somehow this will link to Iris. I want to put some compassion on just right here. I lay this compassion and this empathy down because I know, I even feel it in my own self. I feel my heart beats fast when my body starts to swell in power. My heart starts to beat fast. There is a nervousness that comes over me. It's like literally I feel my whole aura expanding. And we realize, don't we, how much we keep our auras contained, right? We're aware of this, how much we keep our auras kind of. And this is why being physical, in person, why I kept pushing for Women Gods Gather, is because when we get in a room with each other, you feel the permission for your aura to expand. Iris smokes a cigarette. Iris been smoking cigarettes for years. She barely smoked while we were together. She said, Naima, I ain't smoked in days. She went to New York soon after, had not one cigarette. Iris is an addict in that cigarette addict kind of way. When you get in the room physically with powerful people, it shifts your aura and it has a permission to expand, because a lot of y'all are keeping yourselves contained so that you can exist in the room, you can exist in your job, you can exist in the marriage. And how do you pay the price for that? Your joy dwindles, your creativity dwindles, you start losing your hair, you start eating to compensate. That's why some of y'all getting fat. That's why some of y'all overweight. That's why some of y'all hate men. You don't hate men. You hate who you're being because you're worried about how men are going to perceive you. So here's the it. So I'm about to drop some shit, bitch. Oh God. Oh God. Yes. It's just so much I just don't talk about. And I'm about to talk about something. So, sperm. Okay. And the conversation, just the whole war between man and woman, the tired ass war. So the conversation, the dominant conversation, at least that I have heard, is when a woman has sex with a man, he ejaculates in her, right? This is assuming there's no condom involved. He ejaculates in her, his sperm goes to her brain and fucks her up, right? You know, she, and if she's having sex with multiple men, it just fucks with her head and she's crazy, blah, blah, blah. Whatever they say about a woman taking in a man's sperm, right? Now, this links also to what I said earlier about a lot of y'all are doing personal development. You're doing spirituality and you're doing growth and you're doing it all the masculine way. I'm going to pull this back. This is a dynamic conversation. Stick with it. I'm going to pull this back and say every conversation that you have with yourself and with other people, you need to look at the context and the frequency at which that conversation sits. What do I mean? The way we even have a lot of conversations are intrinsically devoid of feminine power, soft power. Example, the way this conversation is even discussed. So the way I just explained it, right? Isn't that the way it's talked about a lot online? When women sleep around and men ejaculate in her and all that sperm go to her brain and then she crazy and da-da. Isn't that how the conversation typically goes? Or correct me if I'm wrong here before I go on. And this is not to promote fucking a bunch of niggas raw. That is not what this is about. This is not about fucking a see, and even that right there, so many of conversations is leaned through a male lens. Hold on, park that. So come back here. When a woman is disempowered, which is what most women are, when a woman is disempowered, any and everything that occurs in her life, she will handle it in a disempowered way. When a woman is disempowered, any and everything that occurs in her life, she will handle it in a disempowered way. Period. When a woman is in her power, anything and everything that occurs, she will handle in a powerful way. So when relating this to the sperm category and why goddess of love temples were so pronounced and powerful when they were, before Christianity came and shut that shit down because that's too much power. When a woman is in her power and a man ejaculates in her, I'm going to bring AI into this to make a point. So the way AI works, let's say Chat GPT, the way it works is it takes a bunch of input from humans. It takes a bunch of data from the internet. It's not just out of thin air content. When you put a prompt into Chat GPT, what it spits out at you is a mashup of data that humans have put in over time. That's what Chat GPT is. Y'all know this, right? So that's what that is. Now, when a woman is empowered and a man ejaculates into her, she basically is then able to control him. That belongs in the occult book. That belongs in the occult book. That belongs in the occult book. See, the way the conversation has been framed, and this is how the beast keeps folks scattered in the brain. And when I'm a disempowered woman, yeah, anything that happens in my reality is going to be handled in a disempowered way. So when a man ejaculates in me, yeah, I'm going to become all frazzled in the head and whatever. And basically, I become him. Okay. When I'm an empowered woman, meaning I've engaged in high level alchemy, I have erected my pussified voice because I have confronted everything that gets in the way of my true feminine power. Everything that I currently feel shame, guilt, fear around. All the stories that I've created to web myself into prisons, a variety of prisons, everything I've done over years, the way I've contorted myself because of sexual trauma, rape, molestation. When I do the high level alchemical work, which is at its root is truth telling and is sensational. So this is physiological work. It is not conceptual the way personal development has been sold. It's not like, oh yeah, because I read Women Who Run with the Wolves, and yeah, I read Iyanla's book on healing, and yeah, I listened to that podcast about that, and yeah, I went to that retreat in Bali, and yeah, you know, I sat down and I talked to the ancestors about it, and yeah, I wrote my journal about this, and yeah, I went on a 3-month women's, situation to figure out what it is. It's physiological. Because you got to return to your body's wisdom to know what is true. And when you return to your body's wisdom, a lot of the lies start to erupt. So you're going to look like a fool. You're going to look crazy in the beginning. And most women aren't willing to look like that because they don't want the judgment of other people. So you stay disempowered. So yeah, when you fuck, whatever you want to call it, and he ejaculates in you, you are going to be all over the place. But as soon as you are willing to give yourself over to going through the whole gauntlet of looking like a fool for a little while, of being embarrassed for a little while, being driven by desire, that's what's going to drive you through. It's what's driven me through. Being driven by desire, being dragged down. The greatest nourishment is in the dark. It's not up in the light and all out. And you don't even know what you're doing in the light until you get down to what's ruminating deep down at the center of your vagina, at your cervix, at the bottom of your womb, your spine, your back, everything that sits in the dark. You can't even come out here and do no powerful TED talk and feel full and good about it at the end when you know you got a bunch of dark shit ruminating in you. Or we thought just doing a TED talk and going viral was it. How many of y'all have already done powerful talks at corporations, at retreats and events, and when you was done, you went back to your motherfucking beautiful ass room and knew you didn't lay that shit down the way you could and can and is made to. That's right there. See? Do y'all want that? You see, I appreciate y'all who's here. My numbers is higher than normal right now. I'm appreciating that. Thank you for liking the live. Please share the live stream. So this is why the conversations are always angled through a masculine lens. It's a trick way. It's a trick way to keep you out of your power, because if I frame it this way and we only talk about it this way, your mind only directs this way. But see, this is what happens when you come home to your body's wisdom. and you start doing this alchemical work that witches, women, all women are witches, by the way, was hung for. The wisdom that you get when you lay down in the sun, when you touch your pussy, when you let your body respond to desire and look like a fool in the process, when you let yourself feel your way through and not think your way through. Or when I ask you a question, you don't say, let me think about it. I ask you a question and you go, it feels like, and you open your legs and you feel your way through. I want to see more, not only women at large, but particularly melanin dominant women living like this. Give your TED Talks like this. Do your YouTube videos like this. Do your podcast like this. Because when you really come into your full power and you are embodied, and this is physiological work, y'all. When you are doing this work correctly, you get shivers up your spine, your pussy gets moist, your brain expands, your aura expands, you wake up, shit that you didn't even know you knew starts to wake up in you. This is the power of a woman. You touch the tenderness in you that is absolutely there. You touch everything. You start to see everything you need to see, know everything you need to know. Shit starts clicking and you become like a walking AI. So that when any man ejaculates in you, your husband, a lover, anybody, you see shit that he can't see. You know his thoughts before he think them. You know where he going before he go there. You know, this is what I mean by you can control him. It's not that you want to control him in some sinister way. It's just the way you're hooked in because you're in true power. But so many men are afraid of their woman or women being activated at this level because they're afraid they won't be able to have access to her when she starts really being able to see and really knowing and really choosing from her true self versus choosing from her survival place or choosing because he said some shit got in her ear. Right? Because the saying, that's what I mean by all these sayings that are through the male lens, that women believe what they hear, men believe what they see. So they're so used to being able to just say shit to you or prompt you with words and that being able to move you, influence you. And when you get into your own power, you hear from multiple angles. You really become this walking AI. You become this. We are a universe. Nobody's actually walking and living embodied and creating content and making love and cooking and building their business and their lives as a universe. A lot of us are moving from pain. We're making decisions that are survival, fear, struggle. Oh, I'm all alone. What's going to happen? Here's another frame right here. I'm always, when I see particularly black men, I don't even see white men talking like this that much. But black men, their whole argument is, well, how you gonna be alone and miserable? And like single seems to have this demonic tone when they talk about it. And it's like so personal when they say it. And it's like, sir. And this is what I mean by every conversation, every angle, you have to look at it before you enter the conversation. And you will quickly see that the angle of the conversation is through the male lens. And the male lens is very much one of survival. I mean, he's the Y chromosome. If we want to get into the scientifics of it, right? Right. They're projecting their palpable fear. Look, not fear, palpable fear. So to them, it's like you're going to be single and alone and miserable. And the projection is how they feel about being single. Women are never going to be that because we are social by nature. We're just connected all the time. We could go to a coffee shop and hook into a friend group because they're so alone and they're so like off into their male corner. They think that's how we are. But no, women, we stay connected. We'll never, that's not even hardly a concern of mine. So I say that to you because I really want y'all to start like this whole conversation about decentering men. And Mashika was bringing that up about how a lot of men talking about decentering men and they don't mean it. They don't know how. What does that even look like? And this is not even about decentering men. It's not even that. It's your power. It's about how is a woman actually coming into her power? What does that actually look like? And our energy and attention is grabbed in so many different ways that if you don't learn the skill of what's mine and what's theirs, what's mine and how is this being projected onto me? Is this mine or is this something I've been conditioned to want and believe? Boy, if you don't learn that skill, that's why so many women are feeling so pulled and so overwhelmed and so tired because they have in this day and time, like if you over 40, y'all right, it's like this shit is wild as fuck today. Like what these 20-year-old girls and 22-year-old girls is dealing with, you like, fuck. I remember when it was just pagers. You know what I'm saying? We just had cute pagers with the clip and we just wanted to cut back. Now, if a woman or man, frankly, do not come into their power, you done for everything you do. And when I say power, I mean real power. I mean real power. Like, real power is very much occult-like in many ways. Like, real power. And it's really just the truth of things. It's really just the truth of things. You know what I mean? And I just say occult because it's like when you just start saying shit that's true. Like even what I just said about when a man ejaculates on a woman, you know, when she's disempowered versus when she's empowered. What, bitch? Well, get empowered and see what I'm talking about. Get empowered and see what I'm talking about. And I don't mean this new age empowerment. You know what I mean? Okay, so there's so much going on. Who feels like what's going on right here is enough for them? And who wants more? Who feels like what I'm talking about right here, right now is enough for them? Like you're fed, thank you, this is enough. This is food, baby. This is gold, premium whole food. So if you want more, there's a few options. If you want to interact with me and do some really activating your voice through your pussy, tomorrow I'm doing a training. It's one time. There will be no replay. I don't know if I'm doing it again. It's $500. We're going to be on Zoom. We start at 9:30 a.m. and we're going to go until. So there's no end time. Next said it is gold. So that's that, right? It's tomorrow, 9:30 a.m., $500. We're going to be on Zoom. We're going to be crafting, and not crafting as if we're building something from nothing. Uncovering your voice by way of your pussy, your true, authentic voice. So if you don't want your true voice, true power, this ain't for you, okay? And I'm there with you live. We start at 9:30 a.m. Pacific on Zoom, and we go until. So there's no stop time. We go until. That's one thing. The second way, if either 500 is out of your budget or you scared of me. I know some women are scared to come in that close. Now, start with Heal Your Witch Wound. Heal Your Witch Wound. It's $197. You can get that right now with the link in my bio. It's all about activating your sensual power, doing physiological work. There's an exercise in there on how to take up space. There's an exercise in there on how to uncover your taboo persona, who you're not supposed to be, right? So if it's like, well, I can't be like that, people are going to think this, if I show up this big, what's going to happen kind of thing, and waking that up and the characteristics inside yourself that actually hold the power that you seek. That's inside of Heal Your Witch Wound, along with the physiological work of coming home to your body and taking up physical space in the world. That's $197. It's called Heal Your Witch Wound. And it's in my bio right now on TikTok for you to sign up. And it's with this video right now to sign up. And there are other options too. But before I go on, I want to answer questions. Are there any questions here? Oh, hey, April, I'm just seeing your comments. 20 years, yeah. You're welcome. What about Kundalini? Ask complete sentences. Like, is this how you talk to yourself? Does it work? Who here, based off what I've shared here today, just based off what I've shared here today, you are absolutely ready for your full power? And if you're not, put not in the comments. You're absolutely ready for your full power. Put full power. If you're not, put not. So as I'm waiting for that, some other takeaways that I look forward to talking about, not today. Excuse me. I'll talk more about this, the other takeaways over the next couple days. And I want to finish what I was saying about Iris. Why y'all so quiet in the chat now? Well, say what you, what's up then? Why you quiet? Tell me that. Hey, Brenda. Oh, thank you for sharing, April. Hi, Uwasi. Hi, Selena. Oh, no, Uwasi. Hi, Uwasi. Why are you asking that question, Given? And I'm not saying that to pick on you in that kind of a way. I'm just saying, look at where that question is even coming from. That question feels like something you've been hearing on the internet and you just putting it down here to see what I want to say. What do you want? What do you deeply want to know? Thank you for your honesty, Kaylin. The truth, no matter what it is always going to set you free. I hosted a womanhood initiation this past Sunday, which, by the way, the next one is on Thursday. You can read details about that with the link in my bio. And a woman said she admitted some shit straight up. And it's like she just wants to throw up right then and there during the initiation, because when you tell the fucking truth, you get free, even if you are nauseous at first. She was saying, she was like, I keep saying I don't want to struggle, but then I keep struggling, and what's going on? And there's this whole back and forth. And I just asked one question. And I was like, and she answered it. And it's like really holding the energy for people to be true. We were on Zoom. We were going to be on Zoom tomorrow. Just really holding the energy for people to be with the truth, because the truth can hurt in the body. It can make you nauseous. The way she was nauseous, it can. Even she was like, I feel like I want to throw something. She said, makes me feel like I want to cut off all my hair. That's what she said. I want to cut off all my hair, and and you need that, because most of us have a hard time really confronting ourselves, because part of what you're doing is truth telling, is you're cornering all the stories, the sophisticated ways you web yourself in. And you get so sophisticated and articulated. So many of us, who's been guilty of this? And then, depending on the passion behind it and the fear, oh my God, because as Mashika talked about, fear and desire are different sides of the same coin. Your fear has the same intensity as the desire. So then when you start going to war with it, if you don't know how to stay in the truth of it, you'll start emphatically defending your limitations. So then you cement your web even more. Who here knows what I'm talking about? I'm telling you. Or maybe that's not your way. Maybe you don't do it emphatically. Maybe you do it. We are so sophisticated in how we keep ourselves. Well, the children need, because, and it always makes me think of this woman, this mother. Anyway, I don't want to go too far off, but like the different ways we keep ourselves inside of something we don't like. And you'll just keep yourself there. You'll just keep so Potent truth telling, alchemical truth telling corners you. It corners. And it's priceless to have that in your life. To corner it and then have the spaciousness to tell the truth and to feel all the feelings that come with telling the truth. Nauseous, wanting to throw your computer, wanting to call off on your hair, getting angry, and then feeling it all the way through because it's physiological, feeling it all the way through. And you'll have fucked up nights doing this, or maybe a night, who knows? And you'll just feel royally fucked up. You'll just feel royally fucked up. And as long as you stay in the intent of the truth telling, the commitment down to the pussy, the true desire, it'll open itself to you. The next way, the door, even the fortitude that you need to make a difficult decision. Because a lot of y'all, it's like you can't even make the decision because you're so way down, and the fortitude you need is locked down in your pussy. But you're so scared of what is going on, you can't access the fortitude. I know that was quite a bit, huh? Okay, I want to hear from more of y'all. Elaine said truth. I want to hear from more of y'all. I need to file my nail. I want to close out. I think this will be the final thing. I want to close out with what I was saying about Iris getting to 63 years old and never meeting someone who had the capacity to be with her as she moved through the gauntlet of returning to her power. This is how many of you will be if you don't link yourselves up with real power. She ain't the only one. Iris ain't the only one. Can somebody please tell that person without a profile photo what the rule is here? Hi, Shim. I like that fuchsia on your photo. How do you break out of the limitations on life because of an unfulfilled mother, like you said in your vid? Pussy power. And then I recommend what you can start with, if you like to read, is there's a book called Into the Heart of the Feminine. Into the Heart of the Feminine. It's a great cover. There's a Medusa on the cover. You can find it on Amazon right now. Into the Heart of the Feminine. And it says something like facing the death mother archetype for vitality, love, something like that. Facing the death mother archetype. Start there if you know that your limitations are a result of your relationship with your mother. Start there. Elder said, hi, Elder. This is a true reflection of the conversation I have been having with myself. Beautiful. So, Iris is 63, right? So she was born in 1960. So she was born at another time, okay? And Iris's mom was a powerful woman. And Iris's mom was alive at a time where a man, a husband, or any man could feel like a woman wasn't, he didn't like her, he didn't like how she was being, and could call and have her put in the nut house. Okay. So Iris was raised at a time where that was a normal thing. And her father would regularly have her mother put into the nut house. Okay. Thank you for putting that down there, Kaylin. So Iris was one of those kids, you know, some people just really have it in them where even if, hold on, even with the punishment for sharing your voice and being true, she still was willing to endure the punishment. Now that also meant she was in a lot of pain as a kid. And she said her mom was a traumatized woman, and she transferred that trauma to Iris. Iris has talked about this. This is not something that Iris would be upset about me talking about publicly. She has already talked about this on YouTube, she and I together, maybe about a month and a half ago. And for those of us who are under 40 or under 50 and who are alive today, and even though we know there's a kind of freedom we have, and like essentially we can do what we want to do in many ways, we still walk around as the children, okay, of the irises of the world and the grandchildren of the irises, mothers of the world, etc. And so that, and Iris, she found herself in decline. Like some of you either are in right now or you will end up in at some point. In a decline because nobody saw her. Nobody had the capacity to be with her in her rawness. Raw power. Which when you start dealing in pussy power, we're talking raw. Okay? Now, this is a skill, this is a tenderness, and it's not something you could fake. During Women Gods Gather, I realized how, with experiences that was had over the weekend, I realized how much more deeper we need to go. And the environment being fostered in every which way for that to actually happen. And the time is going to take, frankly, because that was another personal takeaway I took from Women Gods Gather, was how much I need to slow down. Because it's going to take time, and a lot is happening real fast right now. A lot. I know it may not look like it in the front, but a lot of women is in my emails, my DMs, they're here, they're coming, they're finding their way, and desire is having a lot to do with this. So Iris and I talked about this, that basically when I contacted her, she felt the desire, and many of us don't want our hunger to show. I talked about that, right? We don't want, true desire is hungry. True desire is a heat-seeking missile. True desire is hungry. It's a heat-seeking missile. It's not appropriate. It's not pretty. It's not like, it's coming. And she said to me, Naima, when you first came at me, it was off-putting. Because this is what true desire looks like. You see something, you know instantly, and you move. How many of y'all shut that down? You shut that down. Because how am I going to look? Oof. No. And instead, you go do due diligence. Let me go do due diligence first. Let me go think about it. That's the masculine way. A lot of y'all masculine than a mug, just in your way of being. No. True desire is a heat-seeking missile. This is true desire. It's like in the wild. And we learn to refine this over time. Right. Shem said masculine equals logic over emotions. Exactly. Logic over emotions. So I have done so much high-level occult alchemical work, embarrassing things that made my nervous system flip. And you got to get to the other side. And desire is the thing that's going to get you to the other side. Things where you're embarrassed, where you are at the bottom of yourself. It's the best place to be. I'm telling y'all, the best place to be is embarrassed, at the bottom of yourself. You want to be humbled. You want to be submitted. You want to be fucked. You want to be fucked. And I mean that literally, figuratively. I mean that in all the ways. I'm telling you, the power is in the down, bitch. The power is in the down. It is not in the up. The power is in the down. But y'all so busy trying to control. Y'all trying to control from underneath and like slick. When you're dealing with me, it ain't gonna work. I'm just gonna take my hands off of you and let you fuck around. It's disinteresting. What are we going to do with that? Ego flailing all over the place, your fear all over the place. I am here as an open thing to help you come into your power. You going to lean into that or you not? We are very behind. I'm going to tell you that right now. We are very behind. We are very behind. But we can get there. We can get there, and we will with your agreement. Listen, I'm gone. This is who I am. We on this path forever and ever and ever. And you will too when you agree to yourself that that's the way you're going to go. And unless you die, you're going to be here. So what else you going to do? Shin said, this makes sense. We can't be afraid to feel. Basically living as a robot. Yeah, which a lot of women are doing. So we were out at brunch afterwards, and I was mad because I'm looking at Iris. And I just know everything it took for Iris and I to get to that place right there. Sitting outside, drinking a latte, and looking at this 63-year-old woman who has had nobody to be with her. This is a woman who's been married. I think Iris has been married twice. She has kids. She has grandkids. You know, and she's been in one of the most pioneering power groups in the world, and still nobody had the capacity to be with her and coming into the power that a woman of color. I'm telling y'all, we are something else. The language, yes, that's another thing, the language. So I'm making a note of that over there. But I was so inflamed that like Iris could get to that age, nobody could be with her as she was returning to her power. And my desire is what got Iris. It wasn't her seeking me out. It wasn't her, desire. And me letting my desire guide the way, even when I was potentially looking like a fool, even when my desire was off-putting to Iris. Because Iris said, Naima, when you first came to me, your desire was off-putting because it was such a force. It was so real. That's what true desire is like. It's such a force. And when it's true, it will penetrate. When it's true. If you're doing it from a fear-based, from a grabby, from a this better happen, or you trying to produce a result, you're going to drive yourself into the ground. True desire is clean. Even if it's disturbing, even if the other person feels like, fuck, the frequency of it, the elixir of it touches them in a way that's incontrovertible. And either they're going to say yes or they're not, obviously, right? But it's going to be their karmic burden to reject, because true desire means there's something connected right there between you and that person when it's true, okay? So when they deny it, they're really just incurring, and karmic debt may not be the best word, but I feel like y'all get that when I say karmic debt. It's going to sit in their psyche that they didn't respond to something so clean, so pure, so true. You see what I mean? Thank you. And so she said yes, and all the while there was like this no but yes, no but yes, no but yes kind of energy about her. And she talked about this on camera, where it was like everything in me was saying yes. She was like, I could feel the fear, and I was like, but this is my desire. I do want my full power. I do want to be connected. I do want to be seen. I do want to help people. And voila, Iris, who lives in Florida, and I live in California, we ended up in Atlanta together. She slept with me at my place Friday and Saturday night. I found Iris as a stranger on the internet, like, 4, 5, 6 months ago. And desire did it all. Desire did it all. Her smoking has decreased. She has talked more on camera than she ever has. She's been on such an adventure. She came with me to Atlanta, then she went up to New York, and she'll be back in Florida soon, like within the next few days or so. Her energy has been up. She's had clarity of thought. She's felt strength and power like never before. That is what true desire does. And I'm telling y'all, None of y'all here, let me be this just to leave a little room. 99% of you all are not living from true desire. You're in fear, pain, tension, tightness, trying to control, being logical, rational, understandably so. And over here with my company is where you will truly get free. You will truly get free. And it's going to take love and passion and just telling the truth. Even when you want to cut off all your own hair, throw shit, your emotions erupt. That's exactly how it goes. Because that's what it took to get you into your prison state. April, your prison is so sophisticated. You're a really good example of a sophisticated prison. I went live on TikTok on Saturday and I talked about how when you're in a state of amnesia about your power, all the content you create, all the way you talk, especially when I hear you speak. Now, I'm going to hear you very differently than 99% of humanity because of the state of my dominant frequency. So other people will hear you differently, but the way that you could liberate people, obviously you start with yourself first, but the way that you could liberate people through your speaking never happens when you're in amnesia about your power. You play small. And when you do talk, all I hear is prison in your speak. You know, when you want to reach, right? Anyway, that's a resonance thing. That's gonna do it. It's gonna, it's gonna do what it do at a resonance level. What does it feel like, Kaylin? Does it feel true? Does that feel true to you? That's what everybody should ask themselves when you're analyzing, you're taking something that you heard from your yogic master, your Buddha teachings, your whatever. Is it true for you? I don't care how old it is. I don't care if it's been inscribed for centuries. I don't care if whatever. Does it feel true for you? And even, is it true for you? Go out into the world and see if that's true for you. My thoughts on ayahuasca are, if you feel drawn to do it, do it. If you feel drawn to anything, do it. Genuinely feel drawn to it. Not because everybody doing it, not because, oh, well, I don't know, it seemed like it, and nah. Are you pulled, like incontrovertibly pulled? That's the kind of pull I'm talking about. Because when something is for you, you don't even ask questions, right? When something is for you, when's the last time you said yes and you just knew, just like that? You want to get to the point where you're so clean at a pussy level. You're so clean. I'm talking about desire. You're so in touch because you've done all kinds of inner work that has brought you down. Down is where it's at, in the dark, down. That you have clear yeses, clear nos. Then you want to be like, well, should I do ayahuasca? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do that? That's such evidence of you not being connected. And compassion, patience, empathy. Compassion, patience, empathy. Compassion, patience, empathy. Forever and ever and ever. Okay? True desire will not be led by fear. True desire will never be led by fear. When's the last time you had a clear yes about something? Shim, or anybody who's here. When's the last time you had a yes? Yes. Yes, it's like that. But what's happening with you right now, Shim, is this is how the male mind has infiltrated the feminine. This is how the male mind has infiltrated the feminine. Like there's so much doubt in the frequency of your questions. There's so much. There's so much doubt. And so much of the spiritual teachings are through a male frame. So many of them are through a male frame. I'm telling you, you need to get heal your witch wound today. It's bringing you home to you. Who was that? Iris. I think it was Iris who said, or somebody else was like, Naima, your work, what makes it the real deal is always bringing the woman back to her power. Always. I'm not sending you to go read the Quran, go do this, go look at what the ancient texts say. Go, nope. Run it through your system. What does your system say? What has been your way for the last 17 years that you've denied and neglected because you read something in the Bible about desire as a problem? I'm telling you, in the male world, everything about the feminine is a problem, except for him giving her pussy, her giving him pussy, cleaning, cooking. Oh, then you're good. You're virgin, and all, then you're good. But all that other, like, actual soft feminine power that would have you be able to absorb that man and any man you choose to absorb. You know what I mean? So everything about the feminine will be, so that's why you're like doubting, how about this? I don't know about that. This is that. Yep, and then a nigga you having sex, he gonna ejaculate in you and you gonna be all outside of yourself. And whatever he tell you to do, you're gonna be a tool for going to do it. You go, and you need to understand, if I'm a male, I don't even want to get into that right now. Refer to what as our extra baggage? Been around the world, always come back to self. Always. Mashika, you're really tight. You're very tight. Yeah. There's just huge disrespect for the feminine and fear. There's a lot of fear. A lot of fear around the feminine. And the way for you, including women, a lot of women are scared of the feminine in themselves. And the way to actually reconcile and to come into true harmony with the feminine in yourself is to experience yourself doing embarrassing, humiliating, but true things for you. I'm going to keep saying it because it's what it is. Who have you been wanting to call? What action have you been wanting to take? How have you been talking to yourself? What stories do you tell yourself about why you're not over here with me? Why you haven't invested in this thing? Why you haven't called me? Why you haven't called him? Why you haven't emailed her? Why you haven't went to his house? Why you haven't sucked his dick? Why you haven't gave him the pussy? Why you haven't done this? Why you haven't done that? Just analyze, look at, and just tell the truth. Because if your actions are fear-based and you let yourself do the things that you fear, you're going to find out so much about yourself. Then you start doing occult level things that's just like truth, 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 truth. You become fierce because then everything that you have run from, right? It's like you run and you just live like this. Even if intellectually you know a lot, you can quote things intellectually, you know a lot, but you still like all of your decisions are still very much like this. And even if like April, who has a very sophisticated prison, you know what I mean? It's like, like you decorate the prison and right? I saw your video. You tell yourself a story and you just make yourself enjoy the prison as much as you can. Listen, that's fine. Look, if that's your way, go for it. But tell the truth. Tell the truth. That's it. Tell the truth. And that's why I asked the question earlier, how many of y'all really want full power? Like, how many of you really want a regret-free life? How many of y'all really want a full life? Because when you really start living like that, your magnetic ability becomes fucking wild. Wild. Your desire is off-putting. Like Iris told me her desire is off-putting. You start to feel like too much to people. Oh my God. But you be just right for women like me. Maybe I do, April. I just see you very differently. It seems like I see you very differently than you see yourself. Or your actions to me don't reflect who I see you as. The way you emanate and all that. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Mashika. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. April, I see you as a woman who you could have so much more. You are so much more. You could be experiencing so much more. I see you, regardless of what you say to me. And I'm sure you have really eloquent and valid points about the situation, right? You're articulate, you're gorgeous, you're wise. You know, you could hypnotize most people with your eloquence and your beauty. Yes, and come on, come on, come on. Shem, need to learn to trust him. Again, the most inexpensive, high level solution I have for you is heal your witch wound. Something that you can start today on your own and have access to it forever. You need to get healed your witch wound right now with the link in my bio. All of this, what y'all talking about, it is an excellent start dealing with all of this that y'all talking about in the comments. Basically, the wounding around being a woman, being a full woman in the world. Every woman is a witch, by the way. Okay? Every woman is a witch. Meaning, through the male lens, I keep bringing it back relationally because we are like this because of men. Men of old, how they flipped the feminine, demonized her, and now today we're floundering all over the place because we're trying to build up a society without half of itself. Build up a society without the feminine. So instead, they want the feminine to present in the way that they like, that they agree with, that they can handle, that they continue to be able to feed off of. Because men feed off of women. Your presence feeds him. Your pussy feeds him. The food you cook feeds him. Without that, men are clueless. They don't even know what a woman is until they deal with one. They don't even relate to life the way we do. We are life. So if anything that you bring about feels to him like it's exclusive of him, automatically his need of survival kicks in. And for most men, that starts to show in needing to control. And that's why you're going to be single and miserable. Sir, that's never going to happen. Pull back and look at yourself. All of it. Because it's all through a male lens. It's all through a male lens. And when you bring the feminine into the equation, it's like, God, any man who's centered inside himself, he wants a woman that can take his sperm and lift him. He wants a woman that can take his sperm and like absorb him and, my God, really love you and be with you and be with myself in a way that really stewards this family, right? And we're talking about as a society when I say family. I mean, this is next level. Most people are unaware of this. They're scared of this. You know what I mean? There, and I just think about my experiences with men, and it's like good woman presents a certain way. And women know this. That's why they present a certain way to appeal to the male gaze. And in that, they bind themselves, and then all the resentment builds, blah, 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 the same old story. Because if you feel like that, then it's true. Jennifer said, "Why do I feel like I've been powerful since I was little and the people around me made sure I didn't see?" Yeah, it's a common one. Yeah. So, my desire bringing Iris and I together and us having such a lovely, lovely, like, my God, there was just so much love. There was just so much body to body. Like Iris and I were like body to body. And, oh, it was just so good. And she cooked breakfast for us. We went out to eat quite a few times. We drank together. We laid down and processed. We went for walks. I mean, it was like, and all of this from desire. All of this from desire. We've been messing each other back and forth. Now we planning for Italy. And she came back before I left Atlanta, the day before I left. She came over and she was like, "I just wanted you to know that I'm serious. I came back here today because I just want you to know that I'm serious." Okay. And she was like, "Thank you. Just thank you. Thank you. Thank you for following desire. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for following through. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you." 63 years old. That's what you could be in somebody else's life. That's what you will be when you let yourself come into your full power. That which the world has yet to see, that which the world has yet to see, can be seen today, and you can be the cause. You don't need permission. There's nobody else who's going to do it because you are to do it. And when you free yourself, you're going to free another Iris. Desire did that. If it would have been left up to me, like just me, like, well, she didn't respond, or well, well, doesn't seem to be working. Well, I can just feel that she's like, well, I wouldn't have followed through. There would have been no, but see, that is the heat-seeking missile of desire. It pulls you beyond volition. So into response to Shem about, but isn't desire driven by fear? Hell no. Fear would have stopped that shit a long damn time ago. Fear wouldn't have even taken action. And if it would have taken a fear-based action. There is no love action in fear. There's no, it's sustainably. Okay. I was on it. You're welcome, elder. It's like, oh, I love that. Bitch, wait a minute. I need to write. Wait a minute! Wait, I need to write that down. Wait, let me do a screenshot. I love that. Hold on. Rashika said, "Fear chokes, desire blooms." Get the fuck into it. That's right. You are Shem. Listen. I haven't heard enough of what you talking about, Shem. You can stay going in them circles, or you can go heal your witch wound. Oh, somebody asked about my gloss. I got this from Walgreens. Yeah, I got this from Walgreens. What is this? What brand is this? I don't even. What's this? I've seen it before. Oh, this is Black Radiance. This is Black Radiance. How do you define karmic law, Aaron? Aaron said the only thing that can come to me is what came from me. Get into it. I'm telling you, women, not if, when, as we wake up, because you all are waking up now. The level of like love, the web of love. So I told y'all, especially particularly when melanin dominant women start coming into this part I'm talking about, we're literally gonna tilt things. Things bend according to the consciousness of the people on the planet. This is why we need to be together. Y'all see Italy? Who wants to come do 8 days with me in Italy, September 16th through the 24th? The deposit is $500 until April 5th, and then the deposit goes up to $1,000. So I want to wrap up now here. Any questions about anything that I've shared? Any particular comments you want to share with me? Now would be a good time, if you haven't already, to go look at the offers with the link in my bio and see which one speaks to you. Shadow Gold, I think, if you're ready for high level and all in at a high level way, Shadow Gold, right? If that's like, I feel like you need to just go read that and oh, hold on, I missed some stuff. Oh yeah, I just heard about that train too. I know that bridge. Yeah, you are healing. I know being here now is helping. Oh, Elder said Italy. Hey. Good. I'm glad to hear that you're going to double down on your desire. All right. 35 or so more seconds and I'm out of here. I like that choice of words because that's exactly it, April. And I see that with a lot of us. The strength of your personal matrix. You're welcome, Kaylin. The strength of your personal matrix. Yeah. I can relate to that personally too. The strength of my personal matrix. And then really dedicating. Desire really helps you come through your matrix. True desire. True desire. That's why I say it brings you down. All right, y'all. As a reminder, Spiritual and Rich, my almost daily live streams are going to start next Monday. And what I can tell you now is I will be here tomorrow at 12 and then Thursday at 2. And Womanhood Initiation is happening Thursday at 12. So if you want to have some initiation into your power, being on Zoom with me, go to the link in my bio and register. It says Womanhood Initiation. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for liking the live. I see we have over 6,000 likes. Thank you so very much, y'all. See y'all soon. Bye-bye, April, if you're still here.